Hi, my name is Brianna, and welcome to my reaction commentary channel. Today we're going to be reacting to Season 2, Episode 9 of Hannibal. And y'all, literally anything in the world can happen on this episode. Like, if there are aliens from Mars, I'm going to be like, yep, makes sense. Who's also going to show up? Hannibal, because apparently he kind of works for the FBI still, even though we got my main man Will back on the team. I'm still hoping that, like, the special looks between Will and Jack are like actually them planning anything against Hannibal. I understand that Will is flirting with the dark side a little bit, both with Hannibal and his own dark side. I understand his plight, and I'm gonna let him go on his journey. Will is making me nervous. I am a little nervous about his dark side though. Like, how dark are we going? So if Will is getting closer to Hannibal to get inside his head to eventually catch him, with Will's empathy, I don't know that his guard is going to be strong enough to completely ignore the influence of Hannibal. I don't know. This show is stressing me out. I'm stressed. I'm happy about the stress. Like, I'll take it. I'm enjoying it. But, y'all, every time I love a character, they die. Or they become a murderer. And I'm like, maybe that's just something that I'm going to have to deal with from now on. I'm going to have to expect that everybody is disposable, anyone can die, and also anyone can kill someone else. So with that in mind, we're going to get into today's episode. But before we do, if you can do me a quick favor, please like, subscribe, ring that bell for post notifications, follow me on all my social media, follow my Patreon for full-length reactions to Hannibal Season 2, and that way we can skip the chit-chat and get straight to the good part.
Which answer is it you want to hear, Will?
I want an admission. I want you to admit what you are.
Must try to announce myself as a monster.
I don't know, that's a funny image. I think it's still early in Will and Hannibal's relationship for bondage, but like, we need to communicate more before we can really start playing with this. And breath play? Damn. Out the gate?
No one can be fully aware of another human being unless we love them.
And Hannibal loves you, Will.
By that love, we see potential in our beloved. Through that love, we allow our beloved to see their potential.
Don't give me Louis and Lestat feels. And it's being pulled by an animal. Like, Will, what is your unconscious doing?
I promised you a reckoning.
You did. It's your favorite word.
Here it is.
I hate the Wendigo. It's so creepy. Will, I was really hoping that when your fever went down, your night sweats and nightmares would like disappear, and they didn't. And Hannibal, what is that, sir? A spleen? I don't want it. I don't want it.
That smells.
Again, Jack, again, Crawford, you've eaten more people than Hannibal has at this point.
Sacramento was the gypsy hood of Granada. I visited Granada when I was a young man.
I've never been.
I remember my time there so vividly, like I frescoed the walls of my mind.
I used to be afraid of losing my memory.
The framing is interesting. Like, shoved to the corner.
My compliments to the gypsy hood of Granada.
I'm pretty sure he just cooked the gypsy of Granada.
What are you trying to forget, Jack?
Doubt. I let doubt in.
About me?
About Will.
Hannibal said I'm the center of attention, but I guess we can also talk about my second favorite subject, Will.
Will's officially my patient. He employs me now, not the FBI.
Then why do you keep showing up to crime scenes, sir? You're on retainer. All right, we have our weekly stranger, which means you are either the killer or a victim. I'm sorry, was that a Power Ranger? Also, whatever it was, sir, you were safer in the truck. Get back in your truck. What the hell? Who is that strong to do this? Is that a werewolf? I've been with you with the cannibalism, but now we got werewolves? We had a Wendigo, and we've always had that moose, deer thing. Like, Will, were you really going to do it, or were you showing off for Hannibal? Either way, it screwed with you mentally.
Do you have any regrets?
Hannibal doesn't believe in regret.
I regret what I did in the stable.
Then you were lucky I was there.
The mistake was allowing you to stop me.
So it's not pulling the trigger that you regret. It's not pulling it effectively.
Hold on.
Adapt.
Will, am I losing you to the dark side?
Evolve.
Are you slipping? Extremely intimate. We are in each other's faces.
Imagine a version of events you wouldn't have regretted.
Missed opportunity to feel like I felt when I thought I'd killed you.
And what does that feel like?
A quiet sense of power.
Good.
Of course you think it's good, Hannibal, because it's your favorite thing. Hannibal loves power. It's all he does. He sees himself as God. He's moving around the chess pieces.
You must be a patient of Dr. Lecter's.
Glinda. Not Glinda. Greta. Not Greta.
I either know you or I know of you.
I'm the guy who didn't kill all those people.
She's fabulous. I love her. I just met her. What was her name?
The tendency to see others as less human than ourselves is universal.
My brother is less human. Did you just dehumanize me?
Oh, he does that to everybody. It makes it easier to eat them.
I met a patient of yours, Will Graham. Wonder what sort of painful but effective treatment you prescribed him.
I like her.
You're very supportive of me killing my brother.
Very perceptive.
And I appreciate that support, I really do.
I mean, it's kind of nice.
But I can only imagine what you'd be supportive of Will Graham doing.
And she's picking up on it.
I'm beginning to.
I love her. I love her. I don't remember her name. Oh my god. I can't believe I'm doing this. I'm blanking completely. Sir, your body parts are separated. And they shouldn't be. What is that? Teeth? I don't know what that was.
When did the FBI get involved in animal attacks, Jack?
What kind of animal?
When there's somebody holding the leash of whatever it is that's doing the killing.
So I'm thinking a bear or a wolf.
There's no eating here. We're gonna find everything.
Oh, Zeller, your hat.
And he's urbanizing his animal, moving it closer to the city, adapting it for bigger prey.
And he's not denying its natural instincts.
It's blood sport.
But relating it back to Hannibal, Hannibal is starting to kill closer and closer to home. He started out with victims that he was eating that we never met, or we saw in a flashback. But like with the death of Beverly, the possible death of Abigail, Hannibal, everyone around you keeps dying. Peter, you're back. I remember Peter's name. What is the girl's name?
Do bears and wolves hunt together?
You can train a bear to be a wolf, or a wolf to be a bear. I could train even you to do, well.
Margot. Doggone it, her name was Margot. Sorry. I'm paying attention. I'm empathetic. I love you, Peter.
Don't blame the animals. Man is the only creature that kills to kill.
Are you a paleontologist? But you're also like Batman? Did you just kind of create like the coolest serial killer costume? Not to give any kind of positive attributes to being a serial killer at all, but still, you know? Y'all, really? It's cold outside. It's dark outside. Y'all couldn't make out in a library? My God! What kind of high pressurized... I don't know anything about mechanics. But no, we can't we can't rip off people's arms. We keep doing that in the show. I'm not going to blame the victims. But I'm going to say that situational awareness was deeply lacking this night. But also, where are y'all? There are no trees around. Whoosh whoosh. Thank you, Will. They also keep framing Jack over the shoulder of Will, giving me very much like the angel devil on the shoulder type thing, or I'm reading way too much into it. How did y'all get there? And what kind of shoes are you wearing?
Does he believe he's an animal?
Well, it's not what he believes, it's what he imagines. They're just meat to him.
Yeah.
This kind of psychosis doesn't just slip through the system.
Please tell me that this is subtext for Hannibal, but you're both aware of it consciously.
Made a suit of it.
A person suit, a person veil, Bedelia, my girl, I hope you were far, far away.
He knows how to build.
He does, he's good.
He built his beast.
Hannibal does have kind of like a little obsession with every other killer on the show. Hannibal's involved in every killer's case, whether he's on like the side of the FBI or if he just goes off to meet them on his own.
It's not rage.
What is it?
Instinct.
Will, you're showing a lot of trust to put your back to Hannibal.
If we learn our limitations too soon, we never learn our power. He claimed his power. Can you imagine tearing someone apart?
Y'all have the weirdest dates, because that's what these are. These aren't therapy sessions. These are dates.
You fantasized about killing me with your hands.
Very personal.
Wouldn't that be more satisfying than pulling a trigger?
Yes.
When you sent a man to kill me, were you imagining killing me yourself? Living vicariously through him as if your hands tightened the noose around my neck. You were hiding. Behind the gun.
I'm just saying, if that night Will had then shot Hannibal in the knee first and then finished him off with his hands, pause. That sentence is wild, out of context. But I would have been mad. We would have got Hannibal out the way earlier.
But a cave bear did not do this. Mostly because they're vegetarian and have been extinct for 28,000 years.
Pretty sophisticated ingenuity for any kind of animal, man or beast.
Hannibal, do you have a badge? Do you just have FBI clearance?
Someone affected by this kind of species dysphoria typically has other conditions. Mood disorders, clinical depression, schizophrenia.
Typically.
Very specific, Hannibal.
What he seeks is transformation.
Like Buffalo Bill in Silence of the Lambs, that word specifically.
This threatens to be a violation of doctor-patient confidentialities.
Which you never cared about, so you'll say it anyways.
Years ago, I treated a patient who fits the profile. A teenage boy who suffered from what I would describe as an identity disorder.
I said it was too specific. Of course Hannibal has something to do with this. He loves himself a good serial killer.
He understood in that moment he was an animal born in the body of a man. He would hide and behave in ways resembling animal behavior.
He was delusional.
Not necessarily.
Nah, he was probably just like a furry and then took it too far into murder.
What are his needs, Dr. Lecter?
Savagery.
I mean, Hannibal is being honest about himself. If he knows, you are a paleontologist. Sir, did you use real dinosaur bones to tear up people in the 21st century? Because I feel like that might be a violation to the dinosaurs. Hannibal, why are you here? Never mind. Hannibal is omnipresent. He's everywhere all the time.
Hello, Randall.
Alright, he's not behind me. I was just making sure, y'all.
Dr. Lecter.
You will always be ruled by your fascination with teeth.
That's what you said to me when they brought me in your office. The very first time.
Hannibal, is your therapy office just like a factory of your own making of Build-A-Bear serial killers? Because you want Margot to kill, you want Will to kill. I don't know necessarily that you wanted Franklin to kill, but at least you were like interested in Tobias, which was Franklin's friend. So like, this is just what you do.
You set a patient on a path, but are left to wonder where that path will take them. You've come so very far, Randall.
And you seem proud, but you should have advised Randall that if he was going to kill people, he shouldn't use dinosaur bones that are very specific to animals that lived millions of years ago as your murder weapon. It's like a thumbprint. Y'all are very creative, but I need y'all to be smart. Also, I'm not giving any advice to serial killers, so never mind.
What clings to your teeth?
Ragged bits of scalp. Trailing their tails of hair like comets.
Beautiful. But they will find you, Randall.
I mean, yeah, they will.
When they do, it's important you do exactly what I say.
Oh, shoot. And Randall, you're gonna do it because you trust your therapist, because Hannibal is abusing his position of power for vulnerable people that actually have mental issues or disorders or just life struggles. Hannibal, the violation on so many levels of everyone that you come into contact with.
Randall Tier, Special Agent Jack Crawford with the FBI. This is Will Graham.
That is a cave bear.
You put together a lot of cave bears, do you?
Yeah, put them together, take them apart, put them back together again.
Randall, I would have been like, I don't know what a cave or a bear is. I've never heard of this. I don't even work here.
Victims are torn apart,
trouble with things inside your head. Isn't that right, Mr. Tier?
Mostly Hannibal.
You think I killed someone with a fossil? I had an identity disorder. Do you know what it's like when the skin you're wearing doesn't fit?
I can imagine.
I know who I am now. I'm socializing, I take my medication, I'm employed, and I work very hard.
Randall, that's called being functioning, but that's not thriving. If you were thriving, you wouldn't be pulling people apart like Mr. Potato Head. So good for you for taking your medicine and being social and getting out there and meeting people. But you can't kill them. And I feel bad for Randall, because, like, Hannibal has done this again.
I don't know if you remember me, but I met you outside of Dr. Lecter's office.
I remember you, Margot. It took me 25 minutes, but I remember you, girl.
You're not exactly anonymous yourself, Margot.
Did you, sneak a peek inside Dr. Lecter's calendar?
That is exactly what I did.
Margot, you're smart. You're calculating.
Well, my brother's the heir, not me. I have the wrong parts, the wrong proclivity for parts. What do you think of Dr. Lecter's therapy?
It depends what you're in therapy for. What's your private carnage?
I tried to kill my brother.
I assume he had it coming.
I mean, he stole her tears, and he's probably a horrible person.
What's your private carnage?
Girl, so much. It started with Gary Jacob Hobbs. Then there was Abigail.
I tried to murder Dr. Lecter.
He kind of tried, so had it coming.
We have some very similar issues.
Yeah, Hannibal has a type.
Though I doubt that Dr. Lecter gave you the same advice on murder that he gave me. If at first you don't succeed, try again.
I'm curious what would happen if your patients started comparing notes, Dr. Lecter.
Y'all are on a Rolodex.
What would Randall Tier have to say to me? He said he was much better now.
You believe he's innocent?
I believe your therapy was successful.
Yes! He runs a factory of Keebler elves that produce murderers.
How many have there been?
Probably a lot.
Like Randall Tier. Like me.
Will, keep that in mind. You're not the only one. You thought you were special? It's not true. I mean, it's a little true, but, like, he has a type. And he's done this before. He'll do it again, Will.
Dr. Dumoyer.
She told me she believed me. She knew there were others like me.
Fascinating.
Hannibal, you don't look like you liked that Bedelia spoke to Will.
No.
What do you think about when you think about killing?
What kind of wine they will pair with.
I think about God.
Or that. That too. That makes more sense.
I collect church collapses. Did you see the recent one in Sicily? Was that evil? Was that God?
Does Randall Tier believe in God?
Perhaps you should have a more personal conversation with Mr. Tier and ask him what he believes.
Hannibal, don't put Will, who you want to be a killer, and Randall, who you've already turned into a killer, in the same room.
You're becoming Randall. And this beast is your higher self.
Hannibal, you took this person's quote-unquote delusion and turned it into a fursona. Jack said something about, like, having this animal on a leash. Duggies! Wait, why is your front door open? Hey, get back here!
Buster!
Y'all better not hurt the dog. I will fight everyone. I will fight the world. Good, Will. I was gonna ask if you had a little poo-poo, but you got a big bop-bop, so we out here. Okay, wait, but we have to save the dog, but I'm not running out in the middle of the night into the woods. Will's gonna have to shoot this bear costume fursona guy. Buster better be okay. Buster, please, please, please. The screen is so dark. I didn't know Buster was bleeding. You know what? I'm just saying, if Will acts in self-defense, this guy can go. Nobody told you to come onto my property, hurt my dog, dressed as a bear, and you thought this was okay? Hannibal made him do it. But still. And Buster, I love you, but next time, keep your little ass in the house down. Buster, sit down, chill out. Will, close your door. Close the door! Why is the door still open? Well, get a stronger door and less windows. Live in a bunker. Never talk to anyone again. Will, Right now, you're in your house. You are defending your property and your dogs. Hey, we gotta do what we gotta do. It sucks because Hannibal orchestrated this and he's turning you like into a killer. He's forcing you into it, but also we gotta do what we gotta do. Sir, I was waiting for you at the door. Also, how are you gonna break my windows in the middle of winter? I gotta pay for that. Is this a peace offering? I mean, it is his fault, so you should have to deal with the body and the cleanup, Hannibal. And Will, I like your coat.
Say this makes us even. I sent someone to kill you. You sent someone to kill me. Even Steven.
Hannibal's little nod of agreement. Dang. All right, and that concludes Hannibal Season 2, Episode 9. Jack, you seem to be listening to Will more. I understand that you like a good home-cooked meal, but please get it from anyone else. Learn to cook yourself. There are YouTube tutorials. You can get HelloFresh. Margot pulls up to his house and totally calls out Will and was like, oh, did you get my information by sneaking a peek at Dr. Lecter's calendar? And he was like, yeah, that's exactly what I did. And be brave enough to call them out on their mess when necessary, because someone should. And it should be Jack. Jack should be the one who's constantly checking Will and Hannibal on the crazy things that they say and do, and he does not. He drops the ball every time. So that's why we have Margot stepping on in here and being a voice of reason to be like, you know what? Things are weird, and I'm gonna point out that the things are weird. Margot is in tune enough to recognize that the advice that Hannibal gives is not very therapeutic. Hannibal's like, can't really say that you should murder your brother, but hey, if it happens, it happens. And you should be ready, and you should probably have a weapon and a location that doesn't have witnesses or cameras. And unlike Will in the first season, and also Randall in this episode, she's smart enough to be like, you know what? That's a crazy thing for you to say as a therapist and as a human being. So I'm gonna look deeper into this. Instead of Will and Randall, who were just like, my dark side. Let me think about it. And ponder on it, dream about it, obsess about it, then embrace it, become it, build a suit, and live my most fabulous life as a serial killer. Now, Hannibal. Sir, I am very quick to give you kudos when you do something that's evil and it works out. Like, it's evil and smart. My problem with Hannibal has never been the fact that he's a serial killer, and only a little bit of the fact that he's a cannibal. Other than that, I don't really judge him. I just let him be, and I watch, and I let him do what he does. But that's my job, because I'm not his therapist. But, Hannibal, sir, you were killing so close to home. You have a steady supply of meat to serve Will, Jack, Bella, Chilton. Freddie didn't eat it because she was eating a salad. Abigail, who's been eating people all of her life. You can't keep killing everybody that's in your circle, sir. And also, if you don't kill them, you turn them into killers. All of your patients in a row should not line up to be this week's murderer every single week. This build a serial killer factory needs to be shut down. Will, I understand that your dark side's coming and it's easier to hurt bad people that do bad things. I get it. I understand it intellectually. I'm willing to let this murder slide on the grounds of self-defense because he hurt the dog, so he had to go. He came to Will's house and hurt his baby? If Will didn't finish the job, I would have been upset. So Will, you get a pass on Gary Jacob Hobbs. You get a pass on Randall. I can only support a character up to 5 murders. Anything over 5 murders in my fictional media, and I'm like, I don't know if we could be that cool. I see your perspective, and I can ride with you for a little bit, but there will be a boundary, and at least I'm honest enough to communicate that boundary with you ahead of time. So Will, you've killed 2 people. You get 3 more. After that, I don't know. Maybe that's too lenient. Maybe I shouldn't give murder passes out. In several conversations in this episode between Will and Hannibal, Hannibal is sincerely interested in how Will feels and what he thinks. But also, he wants the truth from Will, but he's also pushing his own narrative. So I do feel that everything that Will is telling him has a bit of truth in it, but it's also tainted. It's tainted by the dark cloud, which is Hannibal. Because I don't believe that the character that we met in episode 1, Mr. Empathy himself, with his cute little glasses would currently be out here murdering people if the series of events that unfolded didn't unfold, and if Hannibal had never walked into his life. That's a big push. And Hannibal keeps framing it as Will becoming his full self and becoming completely evolved. And I'm like, you're shaping it though. It's not Will discovering his true core of who he is. It's Will being leaded, guided, manipulated, and groomed by Hannibal. This show is so good. This show is so good. I know that there's so much more that I've already missed out on. I have to see how far Will is going to go to catch Hannibal. Are we going to lose Will on our journey to capture Hannibal? And with all that being said, I want to thank you for watching this with me. And please, on your way out, if you could do me a quick favor, like, subscribe, ring that bell for post notifications, follow me on all my social media, follow my Patreon for full-length reactions to Hannibal Season 2, and that way I can see you next time with another one. Bye, y'all.